Hi, and welcome to Burger Heaven. We have been busy making all kinds of burgers this week, and I am excited to show you another burger. I mentioned yesterday we've got a burger with artichoke hearts, and so that's the one we're going to make today. And let's just dive right in. And so you can see what I've got going here. So So again, like I showed you earlier in the week, I just soaked and sprouted a bunch of these beans all at the same time. And then I just put them in my Instant Pot, one after the other. And it worked really, really well. It was just hardly any hands-on time. And then I had all of these different beans and grains to work with. So I've got cooked, you can use black beans or kidney beans. I was gonna use black beans in this because I haven't used them in a burger yet. And I've already used kidney beans, but I wasn't remembering that, and I put my black beans in the freezer last night because I didn't think I needed them. So anyway, so I've got kidney beans and garbanzo beans that are both cooked, and again, you can use them canned. If you do buy canned, make sure that you buy cans that do not have BPA lining, just because that's a hormone disruptor for your body. And then I've got 2 large cloves of garlic that I just minced in here, and then I'm going to add in some fresh parsley that I've chopped, and here goes our artichoke hearts. And again, we'll post this recipe in the group. And I've got some green onions and some flax meal and some tahini. If you don't have tahini, you can use like almond butter in this recipe as well. I'm just going to scrape this tahini in there. And tahini, again, is just a ground up sesame seed. So it's got the consistency of a nut butter, but it's a sesame nut butter, I guess is what you would call it. And then I'm going to put a couple shakes of fresh black pepper. And if you like your burgers with a little kick like we do, I'm just going to add just a couple shakes of cayenne pepper. And that is it for these burgers for now. We're going to put this all in the food processor, and we're going to just pulse it. And you're going to have to scrape down the sides a couple times on this just to get this all incorporated. And meanwhile, what I'm going to do is get our, this burger is, we're going to cook this one over the stove. So I'm going to get my griddle heating up. And I'm going to pulse this a few more times. And anytime you're having a hard time just getting something to mix up, just add just a tad of water, and that's what I'm going to do here. Probably about a tablespoon. You want this one, these are a little bit chunky, so we're just going to, you can see how it's coming along. I'm going to pulse it a few more times. And we're just going to, so you can see you just got nice chunky. Just going to add it into this bowl. Look at this cool wooden spoon. I just have to show you this. My sweet husband got this for me, and I just absolutely love it. And then you're going to add in, you can add in cooked brown rice or millet. And so I have some brown rice that I cooked earlier in the week. And so we're just going to mix that all together. And then comes the fun part. We're going to make our patties. So once you get the brown rice all incorporated, or the millet, and this recipe, it says it makes 4 burgers. So I guess, again, it just depends on how big you make them. So I'm going to see if I'm going to kind of divide this. So an easy way to do it is just to take all of it, and then you can divide it in half. And then take those 2 halves and divide them in half. And that would be about how big your burgers are going to be. So yeah, they're pretty close to the other sizes we've been making this week. And so what I'm going to do is just form these 4 patties. Smells amazing. And so again, remember that beans are legumes, and they have lots of fiber in them. And parsley is just, it's a great antioxidant for the body. And let's see, we've got what else in here? We've got our tahini. Sesame seeds are a very good supply of calcium. I know we always tend to think of dairy when we think of calcium, but sesame seeds are great. So I've got my burgers here. I'm just going to rinse my hands off really quick. And then I'm going to bring you over here. So I've just got some avocado spray that I keep and use. So it just says to lightly spray your pan. We're going to let that heat up. And while that heats up a minute, I want to show you a couple other things that I made, and we'll also put these recipes in. This is a kale, and it's you can see how beautiful it is. It's so you start out with about 6 cups of kale, and then you make this little sauce that has olive oil and lemon juice, shallots, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And then you knead the kale and then it shrinks down and becomes soft. So it's also, then you roast, or you just toast some sliced almonds and add some chopped dates. And then you can either add Parmesan cheese or cashew Parmesan cheese, either one. But it's just a beautiful addition to your burger, right? And then I also, let's see, this pan it's looking good, almost ready. I also made a sun-dried tomato pesto, and it's super easy to make. Again, just sun-dried tomatoes, basil, it's got walnuts, and I always soak the nuts because it helps with digestion. And so anyways, it's a great sauce for any of the burgers that we've made this week. And so I've just got some toppings laid out here. And of course, we've got our sauteed onions and mushrooms that we made yesterday. And I've got some sliced avocado, fresh raw red onion, sprouts, and some kraut. It's some beet kraut. And so I've got these ready to go for our burgers. So I think this is ready. I'm going to go ahead and put these on. And it's going to be about 5 minutes, I think, on each side. We'll just kind of watch them. I have not made this recipe before. This one was submitted by one of our members, Rhonda Watkins, who happens to be my BFF from growing up. And so her and her husband came recently. You might have seen them on a live with me. They came to visit for a retreat, and we made like 17 things in 3 days. But she brought this recipe, and I've been meaning to make them all summer. So I just tweaked the recipe just a little bit, to my liking, and we're gonna see what it tastes like. So I'm super excited. They smell amazing. So while those are cooking, I want to bring you over here and show you what we're going to do with some of these leftovers. So back here, you can see how I've got, I have, there we go, getting the camera a little bit closer. I've got kidney beans, I've got some kidney beans, I've got a little bit of garbanzo beans, a little bit of brown rice. And so there's different things you can do with these. You can put them all together and just make like a different kind of burger, or you could make a kind of your own like refried bean dip, right? By adding, you can just add some guacamole in, some onions, some lemon juice. So you could make your own kind of dip as well. But anyways, that's kind of what I'm going to do. You can also put those in, you can put them all together and put them in your freezer. And come fall and winter, you can make a wonderful, add them to soup and, add them to bone broth and more onions and make a wonderful soup. So there's lots of things you can do with any kind of leftover, but, worst case scenario, if you don't have time to make them into anything else, just throw them in the freezer and then, have that clean out the freezer time. So I'm going to see how these, I've got this on medium heat and they're starting to get brown on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and just spray the top of them with a little more oil for when we turn them over. And you can see here how they're just a pretty brown. And we'll let those cook a little bit. And while the second side's cooking, I want to show you what I made yesterday after we were done. So yesterday we put these are the Mighty Burgers, and you can see how they have a darker color because of the miso sauce that we glazed them with, but they were amazing. My topping of choice on these was guacamole. So I put guacamole and a bunch of other fixings on them. And of course, all of these burgers can go on a regular bun. We just really like to eat them on our lettuce buns just because most hamburger buns are high in the wrong kind of carbohydrates. They're actually mostly made of sugar, and so they send your blood sugar up way too quickly. And we just feel really satisfied with the burger in the lettuce. We don't even miss the bread at all. So if you've never tried it, I challenge you to try it. But these burgers turned out really, really nice. And obviously I'm going to be freezing some, and they will freeze just fine. And then I was really excited about this burger. This burger has 3 different types of mushrooms in it. So it's got portobello, shiitake, and then either cremini or the baby bellas, either one. And it's just absolutely wonderful. I had it for lunch today, and really, really yummy. And on this one, I put the sun-dried tomato pesto, and it was just a great combination. So again, you would just want to cook these until they are cooked through and heat it up. Might want to check the inside. Yeah, these are still almost there. And again, I would love for you to share in the group different toppings that you love. I thought of, you can go just completely wild. A black bean, a really good combination with a black bean burger would be a sliced pineapple and red onion on top. But really the toppings are just pretty much endless. And again, we just want to make sure that we are getting them from a good source. And farmers markets are a great place to, get to know your farmers and talk to them about how they grow things. I was thinking about food today, and so much of what we eat is not really food. It's produced to smell, look and taste like food, but so much of it is comprised of mainly chemicals. And that is why you're seeing such an influx of chronic conditions, and people are just struggling with their health all around. So you can see these are getting just a beautiful color of brown on the outside. And so then what we would just do is just put them, and these lettuce leaves might be a little bit, well, it'll actually fit. I guess I'm going to let these go a little bit longer. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of the sauce on top and just show you how I would decorate the burger. And then I've got these sauteed onions and mushrooms would go on top. A couple of slices of avocado, some sliced red onion. Always sprouts, because sprouts have so much nutrition just packed into these little guys. And I'll just put a little bit of kraut on this other leaf. I'll put some more sauce. And I've got, this goes right on top. I've got my little pick to serve it with. And then a little bit of this kale salad. And you've got just a wonderful plate of yum, and you might even eat 2 of them. Anyways, so I hope you've enjoyed this Burger Fest. And again, I will make sure that we have all the recipes posted in the group. And so you can see they're just beautiful, nice and grilled. And again, we used very little oil because we just use this spray, but you can also use coconut oil as well. And I can't wait for you to share what you are making in the kitchen. And remember, in 30 minutes, you can literally transform your food, your health, and your life one bite at a time. And I am here to show you how to do that each and every time we meet together. So clean out the fridge is just going to be cleaning out all of this stuff from the burger stuff. And so I won't be on tomorrow night, but that's what I would suggest for all of these leftovers, is just get creative and do different things with them. I know for lunch the other day, I just took one of the burgers and crumbled it over a huge salad and made a burger salad, and it was awesome, or a burger bowl, and sent it, with my husband to work, and he said it was amazing. So just really get creative and have fun with food. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.